Every morning when your eyes open and the light breaks through your window, you are handed something far more precious than gold, more powerful than any position you could own. You are given time, a fresh 24 hours, yours to shape, yours to live. And it's easy to forget that. It's easy to wake up burdened by what didn't go right yesterday, or anxious about what might go wrong tomorrow. But right now, before the noise of the world rushes in, you have the chance to tell yourself, today is a gift. I will not waste it. I am. Because the truth is, not everyone who went to sleep last night woke up this morning. And yet, here you are, breathing, thinking, alive. That alone is enough to shift everything. It's not about pretending life is perfect. It's not about toxic positivity or blind optimism. It's about recognizing the sacredness of another chance, another sunrise, another moment to try again, to love better, to live truer, to walk with more clarity, with more grace. You see, we often think our lives change in grand, sweeping gestures, but most of life happens in the quiet, ordinary minutes we tend to overlook. The way you greet the morning, the way you show up when no one is watching, the thoughts you allow into your mind before the world begins to shape your day for you. These are the building blocks of a life well lived. These are the moments that stack into legacy. So you wake up, and you don't ask life to be easy, you ask it to be meaningful. You don't waste time replaying your mistakes or measuring your worth by yesterday's failures. You remind yourself that today is a clean slate, a moment not to be filled with comparison, regret, or fear, but with courage, kindness, and intention. There will be distractions. There always are. Notifications, expectations, obligations. But before all of that, before the scroll, the schedule, the noise, there's you. And if you can meet yourself first with gratitude, everything else begins to change. Gratitude turns what you have into enough. It multiplies joy, sharpens vision, and turns your focus from what's missing to what's possible. You don't need a perfect plan to start the day. You need presence. You need awareness. You need to look at the day ahead and say, this matters. Because it does. The way you speak to yourself today matters. The energy you bring into the world matters. The way you treat people, the way you show up, the way you rise when it's hard. All of it echoes beyond what you can see. Iran is not just a checkpoint on the way to somewhere else. It is the moment, the miracle, the canvas, the training ground, the opportunity to step into your values, your strength, your calling. So don't rush through it. Don't sleepwalk through your blessings. Don't let the weight of the past or the worries of the future steal the beauty of this moment. Take a breath, stand tall, look around, and remember, this day will never come again. Live it like it matters, because it does. There are mornings when you wake up and feel heavy, like something invisible is sitting on your chest. Maybe it's regret. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's that old voice whispering that you're not enough, not ready, not worthy. And in those moments, it's tempting to believe that voice, to wear your feelings like a name tag, anxious, insecure, unmotivated, lost. But here's a truth most people never tell you. You are not what you feel. You are not your doubt. You are not your fear. You are not your anger. You are what you decide to become, in spite of those things. Feelings are real, yes. They rise up strong. They crash through your peace. But they are not facts. They are not the final word on who you are. And they don't get to decide how your story ends. You do. You can feel like giving up and still choose to rise. You can feel broken and still choose to show up whole. You can feel weak and still speak strength into your bones. The most powerful people on earth are not the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who have learned to rise above their emotions instead of being ruled by them. They've learned that pain can be a teacher, not a jailer, that discomfort can build discipline, that tears don't mean you're falling apart. They mean you're still human, still fighting, still growing. See, every morning you have a choice. You can let your emotions pull you around like a leaf in the wind, or you can anchor yourself in truth, in values, in purpose. You don't need to feel strong to act strong. You don't need to feel ready to start. The magic is in the doing, not the feeling. Tell yourself, I get to decide who I become today. But my past, not my fear, not the judgment of others, not the story I used to believe about myself. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're becoming someone. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, courage over comfort, focus over frenzy, you're becoming someone. Someone wiser, someone clearer, someone stronger. And yes, the process will be uncomfortable, but that's the point. Comfort zones are where dreams go to sleep. Growth doesn't ask for your permission. It asks for your participation. And that means doing what's right, even when it doesn't feel good. It means choosing consistency over chaos, choosing alignment over approval, choosing purpose over popularity. Feelings are visitors. Let them come. Let them go. But don't hand them the keys to your life. Don't let them steer. You are the one behind the wheel. You are the one who decides. So when the weight of the world presses in and tells you you're not enough, you answer back. Not with empty words, but with action, with grit, with quiet persistence, with a whisper that says, I'm not stopping here. I'm becoming. Because every morning you have a decision to make, to surrender to how you feel, or to stand on who you are. One of those roads leads to survival, the other to transformation. You're not just waking up to another day. You're waking up to your becoming. Before the world makes its demands, before the messages, the noise, the traffic, the rush, there's a moment of silence. A moment where it's just you, the stillness, and the question that matters most. Will I lead myself or will I follow the noise? Because whether you realize it or not, you're always being led by discipline or by distraction, by purpose or by pressure. And the person you become depends on which one you answer to. We live in a time where distraction is dressed up like opportunity. It looks like another scroll, another notification, another task that feels urgent, but leaves you empty. You can lose a whole day chasing things that don't move your life forward. You can waste years confusing movement for progress. But deep down, you know what's real. You know what actually builds something lasting. And it's not what the world shouts at you. It's the quiet choices you make when no one's watching. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's not loud or flashy. It shows up early, keeps its promises, and doesn't ask for applause. It does the work. When your mind wants comfort, discipline says, not yet. When your body wants to quit, discipline says, a little further. It's the voice inside that doesn't yell. It leads. And that's what you have to do every morning. Lead yourself first. Don't wait for motivation to knock on your door. Don't expect the world to push you in the right direction. You take responsibility. You take the first step. You choose your thoughts. You shape your routine. You create a structure that protects your focus, honors your time, and keeps you aligned with your mission, even when it's hard. Because here's the truth. If you don't lead yourself, the world will lead you, and it won't lead you where you want to go. So you wake up and you decide, I'm not going to drift today. I won't be pulled by every little thing that fights for my attention. I will do the hard things first. I will guard my mind, train my body, and feed my soul before the chaos of the day even begins. And that doesn't just happen once. It's a decision you make over and over again. Every hour, every moment, every time you feel like cutting corners or giving half your heart to something that deserves all of it. Leading yourself isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. You'll stumble, you'll miss days, but what matters is that you come back, not out of guilt, but out of purpose. Because the vision you carry is too important to be drowned by noise. The person you're becoming is too valuable to be shaped by distraction. And when you start leading yourself like that, when you build a life around discipline instead of reacting to everything around you, you stop surviving and start building. You stop chasing and start creating. That's when momentum kicks in. That's when clarity replaces confusion and peace replaces pressure. So the next time you feel pulled in 100 directions, stop and ask yourself, who's leading this life, me or the noise? Then take a breath, refocus, step forward. Because real power doesn't come from controlling others. It begins with mastering yourself. There are days when the silence feels too loud, when you're surrounded by people, yet something inside still feels alone. Like no one really sees what you're carrying. No one hears the quiet battles playing out in your soul. The truth is, we all walk through seasons like that, when life feels heavy and answers seem distant. But in those moments, there's a truth that doesn't shift, a presence that doesn't fade. God is with you, whether you feel it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not. You have never walked a step alone. You see, it's easy to believe that God is close when everything is going right. When the sun is shining, the doors are opening, and life feels good. But the power of faith isn't proven in the sunshine. It's revealed in the shadows. When you're praying with tear-stained eyes, when the answers don't come quickly, when you're surrounded by uncertainty and still choose to believe, you're being carried. That's where the real strength is born. There's something deeply comforting in knowing that the creator of the universe isn't distant or detached. He's not some faraway idea. He's a present father, a quiet comforter, a steady guide. And even when you don't feel him working, he hasn't left. Even in your most silent, shattered moments, he's still whispering truth to your heart. You're not alone. You never have been. Sometimes we expect God to show up in dramatic ways, in lightning bolts or loud signs, but most often he shows up in the stillness, in the peace that makes no sense, in the strength to keep going when everything says you should quit, in the perfect timing of someone's encouragement, in the door that opens when you had almost given up. That's not coincidence. That's presence. That's God weaving your story with hands you can't see, but a love you can always trust. And here's the beautiful thing. When you really start to live with the awareness that God is with you, your whole perspective shifts. You stop depending on the approval of others to validate your worth. You stop fearing the future because you know who's already there. You stop panicking in the waiting seasons because you trust that the silence is not abandonment, it's preparation. God doesn't rush what he's refining. And sometimes the delays you face are divine protection in disguise. So you walk into each day not empty, but covered, not fearful, but grounded, not alone, but accompanied by a strength far greater than your own. You stop carrying burdens you were never meant to carry alone. You learn to rest, not because life is easy, but because your soul knows who holds it all. There's power in that kind of faith. Quiet, steady power. The kind that lets you face storms with unshaken peace. The kind that whispers, even here, even now, I am held. not because life is predictable, but because God is faithful. And He's not going to let go of you now, not after all you've been through, not in the middle of your becoming. So even when it's hard to believe, remind yourself of this unshakable truth. You are not alone in this moment, and you never will be. You are walking with the one who sees it all, holds it all, and walks every step beside you, whether your path is smooth or steep. The faith moves not to justice or hope, but to all, and in that truth is peace that cannot be broken. Words are more than just sounds we speak. They're seeds we plant. Every sentence, every phrase, every whisper in the quiet of our mind, it's shaping something. We think words are just descriptions, reflections of what we feel. But the truth is, words are architects. They build, they destroy, they give life, or they slowly take it away. And the most powerful words you'll ever speak are the ones you speak to yourself. It's easy to overlook that, to think the way you talk to yourself doesn't matter, to believe those quiet criticisms, those sarcastic jabs, those "I'm not good enough" lines are harmless. But they're not, because the more you repeat them, the more they take root. And before you know it, your words become beliefs, and your beliefs shape the way you show up in the world. Not because the world changed, but because your lens did. But here's the good news. If your words have the power to break you, they also have the power to build you. When you wake up in the morning, your first thoughts set the tone. If you speak defeat, you carry that energy into everything you do. But if you speak life, speak truth, speak strength, you shift the atmosphere within you. It's not magic, it's alignment. When your words rise, your spirit rises with them. Tell yourself, I can handle this. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. I am built for growth, not comfort. I am walking in purpose, even when I can't see all the steps. And when you say those things, not just once, but again and again, you begin to believe them. And once you believe them, you begin to live like it's true. But you have to be intentional. The world is loud. Negativity is everywhere. It's in the headlines, it's in the comments. And if you're not careful, it'll get inside you. That's why your words matter more than ever. You have to become the loudest voice of truth in your life. Not arrogance, not blind optimism, but faithful truth. Truth that reminds you who you are when fear tries to make you forget. Your words are a weapon. Use them wisely. Speak hope when others speak doubt. Speak healing when others spread pain. Speak vision when others can't see past the moment. And when your own mind gets clouded, when fear creeps in, when the weight gets heavy, you still speak. You still declare light into the darkness. Because silence is not always peace. Sometimes silence is surrender, and you were never made to surrender to the lies in your mind. Speak, even when your voice shakes. Speak even when you're scared. Speak life over your journey, over your family, over your future. Speak as if your words are laying bricks for the world you're building, because they are. So from this moment forward, be intentional. Guard your language, not just with others, but with yourself. Because every time you open your mouth, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. And when you understand that, you stop speaking from your limitations and start speaking from your vision. You don't just describe the world as it is. You declare the world as it can be. And that is the beginning of transformation. Life doesn't hand out ease. It offers opportunity wrapped in difficulty. Growth dressed up in discomfort. Strength born from strain. And every challenge that comes your way isn't there to stop you. It's there to shape you. You see, people often pray for strength, but they forget what that prayer invites. Strength doesn't arrive in silence. It shows up in resistance, in pressure, in the moments that test you, stretch you, and bring you face to face with the parts of yourself you never wanted to confront. But here's the truth worth remembering every morning. You are prepared for the challenge, not because everything is easy, not because you have it all figured out, but because what's inside you is stronger than anything that stands in your way. You've walked through fire before, and you didn't just survive it, you learned from it. That's what growth is. It's the quiet decision to rise when it would be easier to retreat. We often think strength is the absence of struggle, but real strength, lasting, unshakable strength, is born in the struggle. When life knocks you down and you stand back up a little wiser, a little steadier, a little more rooted in who you are and why you're here, challenges don't shrink you, they reveal you. They pull out the grit you didn't know you had. They uncover the fight you forgot was in you, and they remind you, you are not fragile, you are forged. You don't need to fear the hard seasons, because those are the moments when your character grows deeper roots, when your faith stretches farther, when your discipline gets sharper and your purpose becomes clearer. Challenges bring you face to face with your priorities.